What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Masthead Brewing Company, and they're out of Cleveland, Ohio. And this is their Single Origin Coffee Stout, the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe variant. So this is a coffee stout that comes in at 6.9% alcohol by volume, 30 IBUs from the time of review. This can is 4.5 weeks old. So on the way back from a recent trip I took to the Cincinnati, Ohio area, I stopped at a bottle shop just outside of Cleveland, and they had 4 different Masthead beers on the shelf. Now, Masthead is known for, the things that are popular nowadays: hazies, fruited sours, pastry stouts, barrel-aged beers, things of that nature. But I saw 4 different cans of theirs on the shelf, and they were kind of like the shelfies of Masthead. Their IPA, they did a red IPA, a double IPA, and then this coffee stout. And I was like, you know what, shelfie Mastheads, I'll give them a go. So this is the most interesting of the bunch because it is not an IPA, and it is a coffee stout. And yeah, it says on here, we partnered with our friends at 6 Shooter Coffee to bring you this mashup of our 2 favorite beverages. The lightly roasted Ethiopian Yirgacheffe coffee beans used in this beer bring flavors and aromas of, so they say tasting notes, they just say berry and cocoa. So, I mean, when it comes to a lot of different coffees, yeah, berry and cocoa is definitely things that you can get. I am not even remotely close to an expert at coffee. I don't know really shit about coffee. My buddy Aaron Doucette, he's the coffee expert. Sean over at Nerd Sense, fellow beer tuber, good friend of mine, he knows his shit about coffee. Me, I don't know shit about coffee. But I do like coffee stouts, and I want to see what this one's all about. So let's give it a pour into the Great Lakes glass. I don't have a Masthead glass, but a Great Lakes Great Lakes Brewing in Cleveland as well. So not proper glassware, but proper area glassware. I don't know what I'm talking about. Pours out this really deep, dark brown color. Yeah, lighter brown at the edge here, up here, darker brown. On camera, it's probably pitch black. About a finger of this really nice, like straight up brown colored head. That's beautiful, like mocha. Yeah, that looks nice. Looks like a beautiful stout in general. Beautiful coffee stout, actually. Let's get a nose. 4.5 weeks old. Coffee's nice. I'm getting just like a generic coffee roast to it. I can't tell you there's berry and cocoa, as they say on the label. Getting tinges of vanilla, could be coming from the coffee, could be coming from the malt. Yeah, I'd say, okay, generic, like dried fruit. Wouldn't necessarily say berry, more of a dried fruit, and getting that coming from the base stout, 6.9%. Usually don't get like huge, like dried fruit characters. That's usually an imperial stout for me. Definitely a nice, like 60, 70% cacao bar. If you've ever had those, it has like a nice straight up cocoa or cacao flavor to it, or I should say aroma to it, but it's not overly sweet. It's just kind of generic, or not, I shouldn't say generic, just like straightforward chocolate character, but not the sweetness that's associated with chocolate most of the time. Yeah, I could see berry, like I said, dried fruits, like a dried cherry, more so than anything else for me. Some caramel, roasted malt as well. The vanilla's hanging around. This is very complex. Like this is all over the place, but like in a good way. I'm getting half dozen to 8 different characters, but they're all hitting me at different times, and it's like each time I go back for the aroma, it's like I pull out something else. Oh, now I just got like coffee crisp, like the can or the the chocolate bar coffee crisp, delicious. Kind of got that right now. Yeah, this smells really good and quite complex. So let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Oh, berry. Yeah, berry. Wow. Complete 180 from the taste. That's crazy. Complete 180 in the taste from the aroma, I should say. I'm definitely getting berry. I'm getting like straight up like raspberry, like a darker blackberry type of thing. Boysenberry, I guess. I guess that'd be the hybrid. Body on this one, 6.9%. It's like lower side of medium body. Bit thin. Shout out to Paul. Bit thin. The mouth feels really nice. It's carbonated, but it has a nice soft smoothness to it. Not really creamy. I wouldn't say that I would like to see them use lactose in here, but I would like to see a little bit more creaminess to this one, just to accentuate the entire whole coffee stout thing. But the taste, still getting, again, dark chocolate, cacao bar, 67%. Touches of caramel. But the coffee is definitely present, and it's in the form of more of like that berry. It's definitely a coffee roast, but there's this, again, this boysenberry, raspberry, blackberry thing going on that was not prevalent in the nose. It actually wasn't even detected by my inferior palate on the nose. It was more of like a generic dried fruit. I would lean towards cherry. In the taste, definitely berry. It's relatively, it's not sweet, but it's not like super sweet. It's like semi-sweet throughout the entire palate. And then on the back of the palate, it finishes semi-dry with a residual, like just bitterness. Could be from the coffee, could be just from the hops in here, whatever they're using to kind of just balance it out. But there's like a low to moderate bitterness on the back of the palate. 6.9%. Can't tell you it's 6.9. Drinks like a 5% beer. That berry note's really cool though. Really resonating with me. Like, it's hard. It's almost like having like some kind of berry covered in chocolate, like a chocolate covered berry instead of like a chocolate covered cherry, chocolate covered raspberry. I wouldn't say strawberry. I'd say like raspberry boysenberry. Not that I've ever had a chocolate covered boysenberry, but I imagine if there are things that are like that, chocolate covered boysenberry, I'm sure there's chocolate covered blackberries and raspberries, but boysenberry, I would say specifically, that's kind of what I'm getting from this. Super easy to drink. It's not as complex in the taste that it was in the nose, but really digging that berry component. Yeah, so basically chocolate covered boysenberry in the taste with just like a generic coffee roast, roasted malt in general, touch of caramel, and yeah, that's really it. I think this is a pretty good beer. I actually wish the nose carried over, because while I do enjoy the taste, I do think the aroma is way more complex, and I think I would enjoy it more if it was in the taste. That said, Single Origin Coffee Stout, the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe variant, I would give that a strong 4 out of 5. Really good beer. As far as like a shelfie from Masthead goes, I don't think you'd be too disappointed in it. Price and availability, I think I paid around $3 a can. I remember if it was $2.89 or $3.19 a can. Regardless, you're probably looking at $12 a 4-pack, which for a 6.9% coffee stout, yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's, pretty appropriate price. Availability, I think Masthead only gets distribution in and around the Cleveland area. I picked this up, when I say outside of Cleveland, I picked this up in Mentor, Ohio, which I think is about 25, half an hour from Cleveland. It's right on the back home on the 90 going back to Buffalo. Yeah, like I said, they get out there, but I imagine they get to a bunch of bottle shops in and around the Cleveland area. And yeah, so pretty good beer. Single Origin Coffee Stout, Ethiopian Yirgacheffe variant, 4 out of 5. If you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. And I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Till the next one. Cheers.